Hi there, this is Brooke. Thank you for joining this quick webisode on why starting a new behavior is so damn hard. We're going to look at why it seems to be hard for people to make these changes and adopt these new behaviors, and how we can make it a little bit easier for them. Our planet today is facing a variety of threats, and we know this. There's excessive use of resources, pollution, over-harvesting of resources, habitat degradation and loss, and abundance of waste. And in order to combat these threats, we need people to do things, to do something, eat less meat, reduce energy and water use in their homes, choose more carbon-friendly transportation, compost and reduce food waste to begin with, support local farms, and not use plastic straws. And this list goes on, the type of things we need people to do to reduce our impact on the planet. But anytime we're asking people to do something, this typically means it's something brand new that they've never done before, or doing something differently than they normally do it. Either way, what we're talking about here is behavior change. And in all my years working in the field of behavior change and just being a human myself and trying to make my own changes, I've learned very much that behavior change is not easy. Even when it seems like it should be easy, even when it looks like on paper it will be easy, it never really is that easy. And I wanted to look at why it's not that easy. So I'm going to take one of those seemingly easy behaviors, and I talk about this a lot, is bringing reusable bags to the grocery store when you go shopping instead of using plastic bags. This is something I've worked on for myself for many years. And it seems like it should be an easy behavior to do. And so when we look at why aren't people doing this, why are they still using plastic bags, we tend to come up with a set of assumptions. They don't know that plastic bags are bad for the environment, so they keep using them. They don't have access to reusable bags. They're lazy. They don't care enough. They have a hard time to remember using and bringing their reusable bags. Some of these may be true, but not all of these are a direct correlation for why people aren't doing the behavior. In fact, research shows us 61% of people prefer using reusable bags. They want to use reusable bags. So that means the knowledge is there, the attitude is there, they do care, and they have the desire to do the behavior. But with that, people are forgetting bags during 40% of their grocery trips. That's kind of a lot. And they report using plastic bags during 60% of their last grocery trips. Sometimes that's because they forgot. Sometimes if they didn't bring enough reusable bags, so they're supplementing with plastic bags. But all of this to show that you can still have the preference, but we're still not seeing the behavior that we want to see. So on paper, again, seems easy. It's an easy behavior to adopt. People are essentially doing what they normally do, which is carry groceries in a bag. Right? They would do that anyway. We're just talking about a different kind of bag. That bag itself is relatively low cost or it's free. A lot of places are like giving those things out. The environmental benefits are well known, and the preference exists. People want to use them. Okay, so like, what's the holdup? This is where we tend to get really frustrated as conservationists and environmentalists. If these things are true, why aren't people doing the behavior? Well, it is actually complex. There are layers there that don't surface at the get-go, that we can't see immediately. We pointed out already, they're difficult to remember, and that's an issue. There's an unclear personal benefit. So the environmental benefits are known, but what's the benefit for me to remember and bring these bags? Not having that clear personal benefit means we don't always overcome the inertia or status quo bias of just doing what people normally do. There are conflicting reports out now in terms of whether or not reusable bags are actually better than plastic bags. And this sucks. This kind of conflicting reports creates skepticism, kind of makes people feel a little bit hopeless or helpless, like what's the point in doing this? It doesn't matter anyway. And that's something we absolutely need to overcome. Bags themselves can get messy and kind of gross. There's also reports that come out saying that there's bacteria in them, especially if you have meat in the reusable bags. That becomes a hassle factor where people might just give up because, ew, it's gross, I'm getting germs, I don't want to do this anymore, I'd rather just have the plastic bags, it's easier for me. And again, as we pointed out before, it's hard to know how many you need. So that also creates a sense of frustration. I'm trying to do this behavior and I'm still using plastic bags because I'm not getting the number right. Again, these might seem like small things to us. They may even feel like excuses, but these are very real barriers and hassles that prevent people from doing the behavior we really would like them to do. And some of the things we know in communication that can help make this easier is we need to guide people on what specifically we're asking them to do. This may seem like a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised how often our marketing and communication isn't specifically saying, this is what we'd like you to do. Bring your own bag. Use reusable bags instead of plastic bags. People need to know the benefits. It needs to know what's in it for them. This is what's going to help overcome those moments where it feels frustrating, it is inconvenient, or I'd rather, just not do something different than what I normally do. Having a personal benefit helps people overcome that because there's something internal, there's an intrinsic motivation for doing it. We're motivated by what other people around us are doing and by how we feel when we've done an action or a behavior. So it's not the information, it's not the awareness that's going to create behavior change. It's knowing that other people around me are doing this. It's feeling that movement and that pressure to do it and feeling really good when I've done the behavior. So how can we as communicators help reinforce and support that? And lastly, confidence and ease is critical. Doing something new and different is daunting, it's overwhelming, it's hard, it's scary, and if we encounter any failure when we've done it, it might just set us back or force us to give up entirely. So the more that we can make it easy and empower people and equip them with the right resources to do it, the more likely they're going to do the behavior. So now that we know all this, we know that even seemingly behaviors are never really that easy. What I'd like to see is less of this stuff. Let's go green, stop global warming, no plastic bag. These are things that don't follow those best practices of guiding the audience on what to do and showing them that other people are doing this as well. And I'd like to see more of this. Knowing people forgetting the bags, how can we prompt them when they're still at their car? How can we let them know other people are trying to do this? How can we give them a sense of pride and validation for saying, no bags, thank you, I brought my own? And even we can use these bags to help them support and promote other causes they're interested in, which may not be environmental causes. These are all ways we can make that behavior a little bit easier and overcome these challenges that may not be apparent when we first set out to change behaviors. So thank you for tuning in. I run training workshops on topics like this all the time. I can do it for 3 hours. I can do it for 10 minutes. I can do it for 3 days, whatever your needs may be. Please go to my website to learn more and reach out at any time. Thanks. Bye.